The first explosion is steam, a pressure surge so violent it blows the 1,000-ton reactor lid, a steel disc the weight of a fully loaded Boeing 747, straight up through the roof of the building. The roof becomes the sky. The second explosion follows instantly. This one is nuclear. A thermal pulse of superheated gas and radioactive material erupts 3 kilometers into the atmosphere. Inside the control room, the lights flicker and die. Emergency lighting casts everything in dim red. Dust pours from the ceiling, panels crack, glass shatters. Leonid is thrown sideways. He grabs the console and steadies himself. Through the dust, he can see Akimov, still at his station, still trying to read the gauges, still trying to understand what has just happened. The gauges read nothing. Every sensor in the reactor is gone. Akimov picks up the phone and calls the plant director. "There has been an accident," he says quietly. "The reactor may be damaged." He still does not know. None of them do. Because what they are looking at, the destroyed husk of the control room, should be impossible. The reactor cannot explode. Every manual, every textbook, every Soviet engineer has said so for 20 years. And yet, outside the building, the graphite core of Reactor 4 is open to the sky, burning. Chunks of reactor fuel are scattered across the roof of the adjoining building. 2 plant workers are already dead. Firefighters are arriving, called not to a nuclear disaster, but to what they have been told is a simple roof fire. They walk directly onto the radioactive graphite. Some will be dead within weeks. Inside the control room, Dyatlov is moving through the smoke. His face is white. He keeps repeating the same phrase to anyone who will listen. The reactor is intact. It must be the hydrogen tanks. The reactor is intact. He is wrong. But no one alive in that room knows it yet. The room has been partially evacuated. Leonid Toptunov is taken to the medical unit inside the plant. His skin has begun to redden. His hands that grip the console that was coated in invisible radioactive particles, are already showing the first signs of acute radiation syndrome. He is 26 years old. He will be dead in 3 weeks. Akimov refuses to leave. He stays at the plant trying to restore cooling water to the reactor, not understanding that the reactor no longer exists in any form that can be cooled. He works for hours in direct exposure. He dies 14 days later. Dyatlov is evacuated. He survives, living long enough to stand trial. He is sentenced to 10 years in a Soviet labor camp. He insists until his death in 1995 that the accident was not his fault. The exclusion zone established around Chernobyl covers 2,600 square kilometers. Pripyat, the city of 50,000 people built specifically to house plant workers and their families, is evacuated 36 hours after the explosion. Residents are told to bring enough for 3 days. They never return. Inside the abandoned buildings of Pripyat, time stops at April 26, 1986. Children's toys sit on shelves. Calendars hang open on the same page. A Ferris wheel, built for a May Day celebration that never came, still stands in the city's amusement park. It has never been ridden. The control room of Reactor 4 still exists. It sits today beneath what is called the new safe confinement, a vast steel arch built over the destroyed reactor to contain the radiation still pouring from its core. Entry requires full protective gear and is limited to minutes at a time. The AZ-5 button, the emergency shutdown button Leonid pressed in the final seconds, is still there. Inside the sarcophagus directly below, an estimated 200 tons of radioactive material remained. Scientists call the solidified lava-like mass that formed in the reactor's basement the elephant's foot. A 2-minute exposure to it in 1986 would have been fatal. It will remain dangerous for 20,000 years. Leonid Toptunov was not a villain. He was not negligent. He was a young man handed a broken machine by a broken system and told to make it work. He did everything he was trained to do. The training was wrong.